Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we will be recording the rebuild of a 1965 Bolt Cape MK4. So as you can see here, we do have the Bolt Cape MK4. If you have seen any of my previous videos, you may have seen the video where I did display this vehicle in the video. However, it was already rebuilt and essentially pimped out, as I would say, making reference to a previous video series I did called Pimp That Ride, which you could also check out on my catalog of videos. So I figured I would go ahead and essentially record the rebuild of the vehicle. Here it is. As you can see, it is a two-door. It does have that kind of fin style in the back, as some 1960 vehicles did. And it has the oversized tires in the rear, which, as I've stated previously in my videos, I am not a fan of, as it does affect the steering of the vehicle. However, it did include it here. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out those specifications. Alright, so as you can see here, we do have that 1965 Bolt Cape MK4. It does have 219,165 miles on it at a weight of 3,858 pounds. Factory tires of 175/75R15 for the front and 285/70R15 for the rear. Now with this, the Rim Retro 1 is the factory rim type. I did get this one from a junkyard, which is why the stats are not the greatest. However, still not the worst you've seen from a junkyard if you've been following me. The body is at 5%, the frame is at 35%, parts at 15%, and interior at 15%. But with that, let's move forward to the engine specifications. We do have a V8 2-carb OHV supercharged engine in it. That being, I believe, the most powerful engine in the game, actually. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any swappable options. However, when you have the most powerful engine in the game, who needs it? So we're starting out with 517 horsepower, 4,285 RPM, and 717 foot-pounds of torque at 2,825 RPM. Now let's move over to the credits. Now, we do have a parts value of 10,273 credits, body value of 1,995 credits, performance parts value of 0 credits, condition bonus of 0 credits, buy price of 13,347 credits, with a sell value of 12,268 credits, for a profit of negative 1,079 credits. Now, pretty much normal for any junkyard vehicle you find. You will be losing money if you sell it immediately. Only in the barn could you have the possibility of making money without doing anything to it. Alright, so as you can see, we do have the Bolt Cape MK4 here in the car wash. And let's get started. Alright, so as you can see, we did go ahead and finish washing that vehicle. And with that, it does kind of more resemble a lowrider with the color scheme. But let's go ahead and get this over to the left. Alright, so as you can see, we do have that Bolt Cape MK4 on the left. And with that, we're just going to get started by removing the body parts. Then we're going to go ahead and remove any engine bay parts that we may need to get out. And once we have those removed, we'll put it up on a lift, remove those tires, then get started on removing the mechanical parts from below the engine. Alright, so as you did see, we were able to remove those body parts, the engine bay parts, followed by the tires and the mechanical parts on the bottom of the vehicle. With that, we did go ahead and lower the vehicle and go ahead and remove the engine, putting it over on the engine lift. We put 2 of the brake discs we had received from the only disc brakes on this vehicle, that being in the front, onto the lathe and started resurfacing one of those. So now we're just going to get started with the tear down of the engine itself, followed by repairing the mechanical parts as well as the body parts. Once we got that all finished, we'll go ahead and get started on the rebuild of the engine. But before we do any of that, we're going to go ahead and solder the frame to get it back to OEM specifications. Alright, so as you did see, did go ahead and finish welding the frame back to OEM specifications. We finished up on resurfacing the rotors over on the left. We also went ahead and tore down that engine, repaired all the mechanical parts and body parts, followed by the rebuild of that engine. So at this point, we're just going to move the engine back into the vehicle's frame and work on getting the mechanical parts on the bottom of the vehicle put back in there, followed by the reinstallation of the shocks and struts. And then we're just gonna, while we're working on the shocks and struts, we'll go ahead and get those rims and tires put back together so we can go ahead and get those put back on the vehicle as well. So with that, let's go ahead and continue. So as you can see, we did go ahead and get that engine put back into the frame. We did go ahead and put the mechanical parts back into the bottom of the vehicle. We got those shocks and struts put in, followed by the tires. Now we have the vehicle down on the lift. So at this point, we're just going to get started by putting those body parts back onto the vehicle. And we'll go ahead and put the engine bay parts back in there, followed by filling of the fluids. And depending on the colors of the body parts, we may or may not go to the paint shop. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as you can see, we did go ahead and get those body parts put on. Some of them we got from the warehouse, some of them we had to purchase from the body shop. But we did get them put on. As you can see, they did come in different colors as they were drawn from different vehicles. Same make and model, but different vehicles. In either case, we also went ahead and got those engine bay parts put back in, followed by the fluids. So with the body parts being different in color, we will go ahead and run over to the paint shop and get that painted up all unified like and go from there. Alright, so we do have our Bolt Cape MK4 in the paint shop now, and as you can see from this closer view, those tires in the back really do provide some lift, making the front come down a bit. Can't say I'm a big fan of that, but it does kind of add to the vehicle's attitude, you know, the feeling you get when you look at it. But in either case, let's go ahead and get that painted. I do believe it looks really good in red. Metallic is one of my favorite styles to go with, so I think we'll stick with that here. I'm gonna let that clear coat a bit down the roughness, more darker style. Looking good with that. I'm not gonna worry about the lip release. Get that painted. And as you can see, we did go ahead and finish that paint job, which really reflective, I think is the best word to use. In either case, let's go ahead and get this moved out to the front. Alright, so as you can see, we do have our Bolt Cape MK4 in the front of the garage. So now we're just going to get started removing those parts inside the cabin. So as you can see, we did get the old parts taken out, the new ones put in. Now, let's see if we can get this started. So the vehicle did start the first time, sounds really good. Let's go ahead and check out those specifications. So we have the body at 100%, frame at 100%, parts at 100%, interior at 100%. With that, let's move on over to the credits. We have the parts value of 52,813 credits. Body value at 14,560 credits, performance parts value of 0 credits, condition bonus of 21,231 credits, buy price of 13,347 credits, for a sell value of 88,604 credits, and a total profit of 75,257 credits. So with that, let's go ahead and sell it, as we do have the other one we debuted in the Pimp That Ride series. So that does put us at 1,489,430. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to click like on the bottom. If you would like to see more of this content, please feel free to click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.